Hey guys, SeanB. Today we're taking a look at an RTA tier list made by the people at swranking.com. It is a website to showcase different RTA statistics as well as providing you guys with an AI drafting practice, but I think it's a paid function and more other RTA related stuff on the website. And today we're taking a look at a tier list that was made by the data of the website. So they take into consideration first pick, last pick, win rate, pick rate, all that good stuff. And today we have a tier list for you guys. I'll give my personal opinion whether I agree or disagree, and let's jump right into it. Also, in the SSS section, the one on the left will be the better unit in the SSS section. So right now, Oliver, according to the website, is the strongest unit in RTA above all the LD Nat 5. Crazy, I know. Oliver need a nerf? Yes? No? Who say no? Leave a comment down below to tell me why you think Oliver doesn't need a nerf. And how can we nerf Oliver? We can talk about that as well. But alright, let's jump into the tier list. We have SSS, we have SS, 1S, A, B, and C. You might not see a unit in this tier list because they are not used enough. Even though you might think that certain unit actually won you some matches, and you see it used here and there in Conqueror and G1, but because they're not used enough and maybe no G3 player actually used the unit, then it is not going to be in the tier list. So in the triple S and the double S tier, we have 3 different units representing the RGB section. We have Oliver, Nana, and Carno. If you have these 3 units, you'll be doing okay in RTA. So Oliver, the best win unit, speed lead, damage control, and everything in a unit with... I don't even know how to begin to describe this unit. It's actually absolutely crazy. It makes a lot of team good, including my Josephine and Fire Fat Cat team, as well as just good in almost every draft. It's kind of crazy. The only weakness of this guy is Antares, or Fire in general. But sometimes he push back Fire unit attack bar and you'll be like, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's kind of stupid. So this guy is really, really amazing. And even Antares is not even that good of a counter. I hate using Antares. I hate having to draft Antares because it's just a waiting game, whether your Antares proc or not. I don't like this unit, man. So I think Oliver will probably get a nerf. Maybe according to Comto's standard nowadays, he will not get a huge nerf. It is probably going to be like the speed lead nerf, or taking away the damage stack in the skill 3, or increase the cooldown to skill 3 by 1 so that he doesn't cycle infinitely. That would be crazy. I think Oliver, together with the familiar faces on this tier list, will probably need a slight change, like Gianna or Ragdoll. But the new face in the top tier is probably Lima. Lima used to be like okay-ish, but they added immunity to Lima, they put a slow debuff on Lima, and now Lima is actually quite crazy. Lima on Revenge of Will countered Gianna really well, especially in G3 where there's so many Gianna around. Lima become pretty amazing. We have Nana here, even after the nerf, still one of the best units for RTA, or just one of the best units in the game. You can put Nana in your auto TOA, which is a thing now, and it will make your auto TOA much better. You can put Nana in your guild content, offense or defense, both good. In arena, offense or defense, both good. In your labyrinth, also really good. So she is one of the best units in the game for PvP and PvE, not just RTA alone. And we have Gianna Ragdoll. Both will probably need a nerf as well because they've been there for way too long. Next, we have the strongest control. We have Yeonhong here with high base speed, good for damage, good for support, good for everything pretty much. Carno being still really, really strong as a leader skill unit, generic bruiser unit, good against Oliver sometimes. But a new face in this tier list is going to be Cadus. Cadus used to be like a better Lauren, but without defense break. But nowadays, when you don't really want to AoE into Riley and Ragdoll, which are pretty much everywhere, and also Revenge Vert, Cadus become really, really good because single target control is the cool thing now with Oliver, and Cadus is really, really annoying to play against. And he does good damage. He's just amazing. And apparently in G3, he is a SS tier unit, above unit like Tien Lang or Volantis or other good stuff. Going below, we are also seeing familiar faces once again. We have RTA back in the high ranking because there's so many control comp nowadays. A very typical comp is the more Changpeng Vert, the Swift Vert control comp. Very weak against Artamiel if you don't stun him early. Surprisingly, I see Tian Lang a bit lower in terms of ranking. Maybe because, I'm not sure, I think Tian Lang would be a bit higher because look at the SSS and the SS. There are so many attack bar gain unit, and I think Tian Lang is pretty good against them. I really think Tian Lang should be a little bit higher though. But hey, this is data, so data knows what they're talking about. We have Wunsa in the S tier, strongest stripper amongst, he's the fastest stripper as well. And he doesn't trigger Ragdoll. He's still countered by Vert though, but countering a Wunsa is going to be hard because he's so fast. We have the light Amdoad. What's his name again? Wedget. Wedget is really, really good too, thanks to the new buff allowing him to heal so much. And the good thing about Wedget is that you can have like this Wedget, Molong, Juno, Nana comp that you can one-shot something and you can sustain forever with the new Wedget heal and the protection that this unit provides. Bova become really, really good. Very popular. One of the highest win rate unit in the game as well, representing the water department because there are so many, and I repeat, so many people rely on Wusa, Riley, double immunity meta, and Bova is just perfect. They need to buff, and Bova destroy them. I run my Bova on Violent. Bova used to be on Wheel Shield Revenge, but I personally run my Bova on Violent because you can Violent Pro and gain stack if you don't have any stack, which is really good. And I run my Bova faster than my Oliver. If you have Oliver, because Bova can strip with skill 1, it is actually 100% strip chance. So you don't have to start with the big damage, you can strip into reset. So my Bova is on speed, HP, I think defense, but maybe I would go for speed, HP, accuracy, so I can land my strip on Riley more consistently. The other unit in this ranking are pretty popular. Like Vert is used to counter a lot of LD Nat 5. We have Leo, very strong against speed-based comp. We have Narsha. Pontos actually clamping back because Pontos off-wheel is also really good against the Gianna user. So as long as Gianna is really high, Pontos is gonna be there as well. We have that SeanB. It's pretty interesting because if you watch Shay Shizzle, he doesn't really enjoy his SeanB that much in G3. But somehow SeanB is really rocking that S tier in G3. So she probably can counter Wusa because she turned enemy buff into 1 turn buff. So the 3 turn immunity of Wusa become 1 turn. And he turned the enemy debuff into 1 turn as well. So you need like the Light Monkey King or Carnal with the 2 turn slow will not be as strong. But interesting, I wouldn't think she's that strong to be in S tier. I need to revisit that unit, honestly. And Narsha is just insane, honestly. I think Narsha is dumb. So much damage. There's so much damage. And no need for setup. It's crazy. Why do I see the light thing, but not Maximilian? Are you kidding me? Why is the light weapon master here, but there's no Maximilian? There's Ongyoki for cleave. Huh. The dark weapon master is absolutely insane as well. Should be near Nephthys in terms of tier list too. It's a lot of damage. We have Han, we have Molly, we have Ganny. We have the usual stuff. Bella. I think Bella is here, similar reason to Cadus. The single target strip and the single target damage with artifact is really, really strong, but Bella doesn't provide debuff like Cadus. So I think Cadus is a little bit better in that regards. So Bella's A tier and Cadus SS tier. Crazy. We have War Young in A tier. I think there are some G3 cleaver that use LD Nat 5 only to cleave with War Young so that she got good win rate in G3. That's why she is here, because I fought many War Young cleave and I don't think they are that good. But A tier means probably average, I would say. And then we have the newly buffed Viva Chow with the attack bar boost. Really good for certain Leo comp because you can swap the Leo HP and give him instant turn and he ignore defense 1 unit. And you'll be in a good spot after that. Jogan still very relevant. Genny Hathor very good as well. Antares being an A tier makes me really hate it. I don't think Antares deserve to be in the game. Nor Diana, nor Oliver. They should just all go away because they're just stupid. Okeano is clawing his way back into A tier, but more closer to B tier actually, because I think he can reset Oliver and control them as well. So there's an option. I don't see Sekhmet here as well, which is kind of interesting. There's no Sekhmet because I think Sekhmet is a very good counter to Oliver because high base speed and you can reset Oliver right off the bat. So I would put Sekhmet near Okeanos because they kind of do the same thing, but Segment provide defense break while Okeanos provide some damage and stun. We have the light weapon master for single target damage. He can be very, very good with Nana and I would say attack buffer like Nikki and a one-shot unit like Molong. He's more for the one-shot people. Now we're going into the B and C tier. Doesn't mean they're bad. The fact that they are used, oh, Segment is there, I forgot. The fact that they are used in G3 means they are valued enough to be used. They are a unit you don't even see here, which means they're not so valuable. I'm seeing Hernie and Thessarion. I like that because of how many passive unit in this high ranking. Hernie and Thessarion are very, very good option for you because Juno, Verd, Ragdoll, Nana, Molly, Douglas are drafted very regularly, and Oblivion, like Hernie and Thessarion, are very good against them. We have the unit that you don't want to kill and the unit you cannot kill next to one another. We have the Dark Demon and Chroma. They're pretty good, but Dark Demon can get resetted, so in all of them meta, too bad for Dark Demon. We have a Chroma, good last pick unit, but I think because she's a bit more, I would say, passive, she doesn't provide too much to the team. She's more staying there. If she land the silence, it's cool. If she missed the silence, it's kind of sad. But she's more like the solo last pick unit. I think Nikki used to be really good as well, but with high base speed unit in the meta, it's hard to cleave people with Nikki, and you can reset quickly. So I think Nikki's fallen down a little bit. The Dark Monkey would be really good if the Dark Monkey get 100% stun chance in skill 3. Please come to us. We have the Druid right here for support. They're not as favored by the other unit. I don't know why Peta is not near Wusa. Maybe because Peta, I don't know. It's very similar, right? Peta can stun with skill 1 and Wusa can sleep. But Wusa is very inconsistent. Peta is a bit more consistent, but the 2 turns more impactful. The damage with skill 2, Wusa is more consistent as well. Peta is not as consistent with damage. And I don't know. You reset Wusa? Maybe because of the base speed. Maybe that's why Peta is not as good as Wusa. But I think Peta is pretty amazing. I would put Peta probably in A tier. Tiana is not bad for certain cleave com. Also to counter Gianna if you don't have Weirdo on your Tiana. I think Charlotte's good. I think Charlotte should be near Gani and Hathor. I think Charlotte's amazing. I think any Charlotte user can go in the comments and give me support because I think Charlotte is absolutely amazing. Douglas is not as good in G3, but I think Douglas is way better in lower rank because people don't really know how to deal with him and people don't have enough rune quality to deal with him. And I think if you build a good attack with damage attack Douglas on Vampire, Douglas is really, really good. I think Shan's amazing. Stun damage, a typical AoE control unit right here. Now we go to the C tier. Okay. I see my girl Josephine. I don't like that though. But I guess in G3 she's not that good, huh? She will somehow fallen all the way down to C tier. Used to be really, really good. But I guess the 24% kind of hinder his potential quite a fair bit. I think Asher, Ethna, Segment. These are the 3 high base speed unit that if you have them, you can try to build them to counter and outspeed other people. But I think Ethna is probably the hardest to build. Segment is a bit inconsistent, so a lot of people still use Asher to try and outspeed. So if the enemy pick double speed lead, you can also do that. And you can pick the Asher in there to potentially contest speed against other people. I think Josephine is great. Only with my Firecat though. Not alone like this, okay? Not alone like this. I think Jackson, the Dark Surfer, is absolutely insane. I think he's still a bit underrated. But how do I say against Data though? I think Jackson deserves to be in like A tier. I think the presence of Jackson is just insane for attack by pushback people. And he's insane with turn cycling unit, which there's so many in the higher rank. Daphne is here thanks to the inconsistency of Daphne, but somehow Daphne is better than Oberon because even in the same C tier, Daphne is actually better than Oberon. Maybe because Oberon is rarer, so it's harder to pick him. But I think Oberon is definitely way better than Daphne's. You don't have to land your stupid strip defense break that you can miss, and you do just raw damage to the enemy. I'm not exactly sure about that though. We don't even see Jemaya anywhere, but we do see Tableau here. I think Tableau can be drafted alone to either trying to outspeed or as a unit that provide the entire team with under round of turn that can do more damage. I think that's pretty cool. Other than that, I think these units are okay here. They're like niche last pick unit. So they're very situational. I think that's why they are not highly ranked by the AI. And the auto unit up top here, they are drafted more frequently, and they're also way stronger as well. I think Cigar is very underrated. I think Cigar should be near the Ganny and Hawthorne as well. I think he's very, very underrated, and with a small buff, he can be really, really amazing. In the order tier, I think unit like Julian or John or Taylor or Nyx, I think they can be really, really good, but they're used so little in higher rank. I don't know why, because I think those units are pretty good. So the tier list doesn't really consider them at all. And they're in the order tier. So they're like the question mark, the underrated, the niche pick that you don't see often. And they're all the way down. I think Trident can be a bit higher though, because a lot of people will use Trident to try to find speed as well together with SeanB. But you can't rank these properly because they probably use very little in high rank. But these are G3 data. What about a tier list that is more G1? Would be very different. So this is not G3, but it's everything above G1 combined together. It is still very similar, I would say. Hathor is a bit higher, and Savannah is actually down a little bit, and Artemio and Wedjet is down. Charlotte's up a little bit. But I think it's still quite similar, but there are more options. So here you see Zeraf, you are seeing Maximilian. I don't know why Maximilian is C in this tier list even. Like, why is Maximilian so low? But we are seeing more and more options down here. Pretty interesting, but if you're doing RTA, you're probably very used to seeing anything above A rank. But I think a Conqueror tier list will have a lot of these lower tier units bump up to like the S tier because they're very, very popular. But hey, this is the tier list made by the AI analysis tool of this website. Let me know what you think about the tier list. And I mostly agree with this. And it represent the it represent the meta fairly well. And I think you can use this as a reference. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.